So good morning, my friends on the West Coast, and good afternoon, good evening, those of you on the East Coast and also in Europe. I'm so delighted that you have chosen to join me and perhaps more importantly, joining yourself here today. Really tuning into what's going on with your life. What's really working for you? What would you like to work better? You know you're meant for more, right? You know you're meant for more. So today here, you're going to discover, okay, what is more? What can be next for me? So this is the Vision Quest. I'm your guide, Beth Berkins, and I'm going to be sharing with you today 3 keys to really link up. That's a shamanic term. Link up with your true sources of power and clarify your greater purpose. Without, the process we often go through of second guessing ourselves and doubting ourselves and then questioning ourselves after we've made a decision, we're going to do this without the second guessing. We're just going to get into this alignment here. And I invite you to just call your personal helping spirits in right now. Feel that axis of the universe that's running right down from the heavens, right down through you, right down into the earth. Feel that connection that you've got. And let me say thank you again for joining me. You're coming from all over America and Canada, and we have one person in Germany. I'm expecting some people from Switzerland to be joining us. And, this is your MasterClass. And today you're going to be discovering, 3 of these, I like to call them ancient wisdom keys. You might call them shamanic keys or shaman's keys to really clarify what your greater purpose is. And also, and this is just as important, I'm going to give you a roadmap today, a kind of inner GPS that you can follow. We're not just going to talk about things. I'm going to give you a roadmap. We're really going to get going here in your life. So I'm just thrilled to be on here with you. And thank you for chatting in. Thomas is saying, where is Thomas from? Thomas is from Venezuela. That is just so lovely. Place I would love to visit. Venezuela, beautiful Venezuela. So I'd love to know, you've all said, this is where I am. Would you be kind enough and let us all know, what is it that you do in life? Are you a coach? Maybe you're a healer. Maybe you're a professor. Maybe you are just about to launch your own business. Maybe you're a consultant or another kind of business owner. Would you chat that into the chat box? Everybody loves knowing, especially we're in a webinar here, we can't see each other. You see me and you see these incredible images, these power images. But to know, well, I'm in a circle with this person's a Reiki master, and this person is a translator, and this person runs a daycare center, and this person is a language teacher and an astrologer. I mean, isn't that interesting to know who you're in circle with? It just adds so much depth to it. Somebody's saying, I'm an educator, I'm a writer, I'm a poet, I'm an international women's spirituality networker. Great. I'm a writer, poet, coach, a physiotherapist. Awesome. Thank you for just adding so much to the tapestry of what we're creating. And this is a co-creation here today. I want you to know that I want you to feel free to chat in this chat box. Anything going on with you, any question you might have, it's set up so that it's confidential. Only I will see this. So as we're chatting these things in, I'm a nurse, beautiful, retired in parentheses. Let me just say, thank you. That you're here really means that deep down, you know you are meant for more. You may not know exactly what that more is, but you know there's more for you in this lifetime. Am I right? Go ahead, raise your hands if I'm touching, something that is really true for you. You know there's something more for you. It's no coincidence that you're here, in other words. congratulations for being the kind of woman, the kind of man who is taking time out for inner growth and inner transformation, and for allowing yourself to really listen, hear from the most important person in your life right now. And that's you. Look at all those hands up. That's about 95% of you saying, yes, I know I'm meant for more. Beautiful. So, right now, let me tell you, you are in the right place. So, again, if you're just hopping on, I'm Beth. This is the Vision Quest. You're going to be learning 3 amazing, I would call them epic, really, ancient wisdom keys to link up with your power and clarify, well, what is that greater purpose? What is that more that I'm meant for? So take a breath with me. I know some of you have been probably trying to find, well, where's that Zoom link? And you found it, and now you're here, and settle back. We're going to take a deep dive now. I want to share with you something of my story. So picture this. Here I am. I'm alone. I'm up at 8,500 feet in the Inyo White Mountains. If you know the map of California, it's the far eastern part of California, up around Death Valley. These beautiful, beautiful mountains. And I'm up here on my spiritual quest, my vision quest. And I am in deep, deep grief. I was supposed to go on my vision quest with my wonderful, awesome, world-famous mentor and shaman, Evelyn Eaton, the author of, well, many, many, many books, but probably the most famous, I Send a Voice. And I'm just so grieving because I'm up here without her. She had a heart attack and suddenly had to leave the planet. And I feel so alone. I'm up here in the wilderness, right? And I feel bereft. She was my lighthouse. I was her adopted granddaughter. She was my mentor. She always had her hand on my back, both as a writer and as a spiritual teacher and as a college professor. And I feel like I'm suddenly without a rudder in my life. And so, I'm sitting on the hard ground on my blue tarp, and I'm just, kind of leaning back, and I'm realizing, gosh, I am so tired. I have been through so much, and I'm just so tired of working so hard. And I'm so tired of being financially stressed. And at this point in my life, I'm $50,000 in debt. And I'm feeling rather like a failure in my life. And, like many of you, perhaps, I've got too much push energy going on in my life. Too much stress, too much struggle. What we call that efforting. I've got way too much efforting going on. And I'm up here, and I'm searching for a way to do my life without all this stress, without all this struggle. And, to get out of this financial debt. And I'm thinking, there's gotta be more to life than this. I thought I'd be so much farther along in my life at this point. And so one afternoon, I go to the giant pinyon pine tree that is in my place of power, and I'm just looking out on the vastness of the Mojave Desert. And, just out of curiosity, I haven't been teaching for like 5 or 6 days now, and I just start counting on my fingers the classes that I'm teaching in Santa Cruz County. Women in Religion and Mythology, The Medicine Wheel, Dream Work, Women in Creativity, Women in Midlife, and I get to 9. And I'm just stunned. I had no idea I was teaching 9 classes in 3 colleges. And I'm thinking, well, no wonder I'm burned out. And then I'm thinking, but I love my work. I created all these classes out from inside out, right? I didn't learn how to do this. I put them together, and I've got women and a few awesome guys coming from San Jose and up from Monterey and San Benito County, and we're doing amazing work in these classes. I'm helping them change their lives and grow and expand, and I love my work. And it's burning me out. I am giving, and there's honestly not enough that's coming back in return. And I'm stuck. I can't stop teaching any one of these classes. So I've got this information. I don't know what to do with it, but I've got it. And one afternoon, I go to the edge of the cliff. I'm way up here on the top. I go to the edge of this cliff and I look down. And it's like I'm 8,500 feet up, and it's so hot up there. And I look out on the beauty of this desert, and I look down, and there's sage, there's Joshua trees, there's all this incredible beauty, but there's this enormous pool of blue desert hot springs water. I didn't know that was there. And I'm surprised. In all this heat, this giant, this giant pool of water is just sitting there, full. And as I'm contemplating this, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there must be a greater source to work from, a greater source of energy, a greater source of power. I'm working from my own energy, and I'm burning up and I'm burning it out. I'm thinking, I want to know how to get to that. I want to know that. And I'm just so happy to know that there is more, and I haven't gotten to that more yet. I'm going to find that. I'm thinking, I'm going to find that. And then I step into my purpose circle. The last night. I'm up there 4 days and 4 nights, so it's now the last night. And I've got my big drum with me, my Hopi drum, and my blanket, my tarp, and my water bottle. And, I've built this gorgeous purpose circle, right? In it, obsidian and quartz all around me. And nighthawks flying through, and the moon's starting to come up, and I'm just calling out for a vision. I'm saying, help me. I am lost. I'm in debt. I'm in grief. I'm like burned out. I really need some guidance. Please help me, spirits. And the arms of the Milky Way are just wrapped around me. And I don't know, maybe around 3 or 4 in the morning, this flash just comes right across my mind, and it says, Beth, what if you brought your courses together into one focused center? And I thought, well, yeah, I never had that thought before. Oh, I get it. It's time for me to start my own school. And so that was the vision that I came back down the mountain with, and I went back home to Santa Cruz with. And I spent a year. I hired a mentor. I researched, how do you start a school, a really good school in the state of California? I worked it all out. I figured it all out. And I started my own school, the School of the Living Springs. So I'm going to pause here because I see many other people are pouring in here. I'm so happy to see you all here. Thank you for showing up. Hello, Mary. Welcome. Hello, Jim. Welcome. Welcome. So I'm Beth, and I've been talking about my very first vision quest up at 8,500 feet. And here's the thing. I believe that everyone has a next step that they can take. There is a next step for you, regardless of how stuck you might be, regardless of what the circumstances are that are going on in your life, or whatever the situation is that you feel kind of trapped in or locked in, you don't know how to create movement. There is a next step. And for the last 30 years, I have been helping people all over the world. My work in Europe, in Germany, in Italy, and France, and Switzerland, my work throughout the United States, I've been helping people just like you find that next step, get unstuck, and be able to really move forward and get that connection going, link up with the true sources of power, and begin to get clarity on, well, what am I here for? Why am I here? What is the greater purpose for me? And move out of those 3 a.m. wake-up calls, if you know what I mean. You know, where you wake up with anxiety and stress and uncertainty about what to do next. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 of these ancient wisdom keys that are really going to help you discover your greater power and your higher purpose. And here's the good news. You've just been listening to this incredible story that I'm telling you about my first vision quest, in the wilderness. And I have since taken the best tools and practices and ceremonies from the wilderness vision quest and put it together into an online format where, you don't have to go into the wilderness. You don't have to wear an 80-pound backpack. You don't have to carry all these water bottles. You don't have to fast. You don't have to face rattlesnakes and mountain lions like I did. You don't have to go through as much anguish as I did. And you can receive this very powerful nature-based healing and get plugged into the shaman's net of power. So if you're ready, I'm asking you a question here. Please answer me. If you're ready to stop spinning your wheels, if you're ready to stop second guessing yourself, and you would really love to build your spiritual power, just go ahead and touch your heart and say to yourself, gosh, I'm in. Yeah, I would love that. I'm in. We got lots of hands being raised here. Woo! Thank you. Thank you for your high level of participation. This is what makes it work for all of us. Yeah, the teachings are really important, but your engagement is just as important. Thank you for your engagement here. Got people chatting in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Somebody's saying, I missed your beautiful mentor's name. Oh, sure, Shelley. Evelyn Eaton. Evelyn Eaton. Okay. I would love to be able to do for me what I do for others. Beautiful, Tara. Thank you. Just good. Get that in there. That's the beginning of a vision. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so here we go. We're on our way. Whoops. We're so on our way. The screen is jumping. So here's my promise to you. I'm going to give you everything I can in these 60 or so precious minutes that we have here together. And I also have a gift, actually 2 gifts, that if you've read the emails, you know that they will be coming to you. And just to say thank you for, all these chats and hands up and participation and, really engaging with yourself here and being with me. Thank you. So I get a lot of calls and a lot of emails after an event like this. And some of you are on here because you did call and you did email. And people say, well, how do I take this to the next step? I'm doing those 3 keys. I want to go farther. What do I do next? So I also promise, I hope you can stay to the end. I promise I will share that with you also. If for some reason you've got to hop off early, in just a bit when my assistant comes on, we will drop a link in to my online calendar. Or you can just put in the chat right now, just say, hey, I want to talk with you. If you'd like to have a private one-on-one kind of tete-a-tete with me about where you are in your search for life direction, about where you think you might be, getting stuck or getting stopped, I will make sure that you get on my calendar early. So sometimes people have to hop off early. So just go ahead and in the chat box say, yeah, I would love to talk with you. She's just running late, so we're just gonna, find a workaround. Just find a way to work around things, right? That's what situations and circumstances are all about. They're not stop signs. They're kind of qualifiers, right? Do you really mean to do this work, Beth? Can you really manage this until she gets on, Beth? Yes. And you're helping me with it. So yeah, people are saying, I'd love to talk with you. Thank you for that. Love that. So here we go. Next slide that already hopped up early. Here it is. I've got 3 intentions. In a moment, I'm going to hear from you what yours are, but I want to help guide you through the visionary doorway. And this is some of my signature work. I'm giving you the best of what I've got here today, right? I don't like holding back for later. Let's do it now. And I want to help you connect with that greater purpose, all right? That visionary doorway, you're going to see in a moment what that is and have a chance to do a time traveling journey. I want to inspire you. I hope you're already inspired. It seems like you are. I want to help you create that next step in manifesting your purpose. You know, the world needs you. The world is praying for you. You may not know that, but believe me, doing this work for 40 years, all the people I have been connected with, I know the world is praying for you to open your gift and share that with all of us. And I also want to help you feel more confident in doing that, and connecting with that power that's broadcasting to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Let's get a connection with that and feel confident about it, okay? So thank you for chatting those in. I appreciate it. I'd love to talk with you. I'm seeing them and just acknowledging them. Thank you. So take a breath with me, all right? Just take a breath with me. We're really like on the 747 here. We're moving forward. So we're just about to dive into these 3 of the 10 ancient wisdom keys, right? For greater power and greater purpose. And what I want you to know before we get to number 1 is that these keys are tried, they're true, they've been using, right? Right, I'm a college professor. They've been used by tens of thousands of people for 60,000 years. They work. Regardless of any stuck place that you might currently be in. And feel free to chat in here if you're stuck and you want me to know that place. I'm the only one who will see it. Again, it's confidential. These keys are going to help you move out of that stuck place, okay? So if you've got your guidebook, I invite you to go ahead and open it up. It's got a beautiful cover on it, doesn't it? If you didn't get that, that's okay. Just a pad of paper, all right? Pen. So let's talk about this ancient wisdom key. Numero uno, listening to your call. And purposefully, the word is listening. You know, sometimes people hear calls, right? They hear calls. I'm thinking of my college students in, Rogue Community College. Some of the work I did with them just helped open them up to, what they were being called to. But that's pretty much as far as it went. They didn't seriously listen to it. Maybe 1 or 2 of them did, I remember one guy, he said, I've always wanted to be a bush pilot. Just want to fly into these wilderness places and get people the stuff that they need. And, well, he didn't do that. He went into computer science, which is a great job. But he didn't live his dream. He never really listened. So I'm inviting you to listen, right? And let me just reassure you, you don't have to change your life with this information. So if you're feeling any anxiety of that, oh my God, I'm going to change my life now. No, just put that aside. We're just taking a look. We're just exploring. And let's look at, we've all got shamanic ancestors, right? Go back on your mother's side, your father's side, you're going to find people in your lineage with shamans, or maybe you have a shaman in your actual blood lineage, helping people, in times of crisis, in times of illness, in times of uncertainty, right? When there's a pull to something greater. What did our ancestors do? They went on pilgrimages. We call it a vision quest today, but they went on what they called the pilgrimage. And our European ancestors would go down through Europe, all on foot, of course. There were no cars. They were lucky if they had a horse. They'd have to cross in a boat over the Mediterranean. They'd come to this island called Malta, where these goddess temples were, these dream temples. They'd have to climb up the hill. They'd get up here to this beautiful limestone temple. Imagine you're on this journey because in some sense, metaphorically, you are, or spiritually, you are on a journey. 95% of you raised your hand saying, I know I'm meant for more, right? So imagine, like your ancestors, you're up here. There's a priestess or two priestesses waiting for you when you get to the entrance here to the Holy of Holies. And they welcome you. Fresh water. Let's take a sip of water right now. And they say, how can we help you? What would you say? Say, what's going on for you? Your ancestors, they all did this. Maybe they're European and they're here in Malta. Maybe they were African and, Egypt. They went to the great dream temple, the goddess Isis, who you see here dressed in white with the sun, the Uraeus on her head, and, the beautiful Ankh of eternal life in her hands, a great healing goddess. And she had her own priestesses. And imagine you're here in this dream temple and the priestess meets you and says, what's going on for you? How can we help you? And what would you say? Somebody's saying, I'm stuck in my writing, my dissertation after a year off for cancer treatment. Yeah, I'm stuck. I'm stuck in this in my life. I'm stuck in my relationship. I'm stuck in my health. I'm stuck in what I'm doing with my life. Yeah, I know there's more for me. I want to get to it. So then you would be led to a dream incubation room, and you would be shown a very low bed that you would lie on with your head toward the earth. And the ancients understood that there was great power in the earth. The Incans call it Pachamama, this great source. The Greeks said it was Gaia. This power would come up out of the earth and give the answer, deliver the healing, Hygeia for the ancient Greeks, right? And this worked for thousands and thousands of years. Now maybe you're more from far north, right? You have this beautiful Mongolian shaman, oh my God, with her shaman drum and her shaman cape on and her shaman hat. And so you come to her and she's drumming the heartbeat, boom, 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 boom. And she opens her eyes and says, oh, I'm so glad you're here. How can I help you? What's going on for you? Go ahead, chat it in the chat box. Again, it's confidential. Yeah, that is such a common feeling. I'm afraid to take a risk of losing what I already have. That is fear, right? That is just fear. And I totally understand that. Thank you for sharing that because it's so universal, Shelley, what you're saying here. So, you talk to her and she drums for you and she takes you out to a place in the wilderness where you sit for a day and you connect with this shaman's net of power, this vast network, the cosmic web of being and becoming, and you start to get reconnected. Somebody's saying, I don't have any energy. What's the next step? Maybe you're from North America. Maybe your relatives are all North American, Native American, and you're in New Mexico. And you come to this great kiva. And I'm sharing this with you just to get you in touch with this really is your history. This way of working, of searching, of finding answers, of connecting with what's going on in your life and what's not going on, right? What's missing. So the shaman is down here sitting on her blanket and she beckons. She says, come down the shaman's ladder. Come and sit with me. And she's rattling things. As you listen and sit on that earth, something starts to open up inside of you that's been stuck. And you share with her, this is what's happening for me. This is what I need help with. So now let's do our own process with this. You've got it going here. what we're looking at here are longings. What are you longing for? Some of you have really already said, I'm longing to be able to write again. I'm longing to find my way. I want to know my next step. What are you discontented with? These two things, they go together. Think about your life. You've got 5 main areas of your life. And as I say them, I want you to latch on to one of them, okay? The one that's got the greatest energy, it's got your attention right now. Maybe it's your health and well-being. Maybe it's your relationships you've got the greatest longing and discontent in. You want to choose one of these areas. Go and do some deeper work with it, visioning work, okay? Maybe it's your spiritual path. You're in drift, you're lost, you don't know, you kind of fell off the way. Oh my gosh. Maybe it's your free time and your financial freedom that's really got your attention. Maybe it's your vocation, your vocare. You know, your service in the world. You're not happy with it. You know there's something greater. So choose that now. And on your pad, in your guidebook, if you would, just write down one big longing that you've got. You don't have to edit here, and you don't have to put this in the chat box, but if you want to, I would welcome that. What is a big longing you have in your life? Maybe it's you want to go back to school. Maybe it's you want to finish that dissertation. Maybe it's you want to heal that life crisis you're in. Maybe it's you want to get back on your spiritual path, right? And also, what are you discontented with, my friend? What's not working for you? Wow. Now I want to turn and face my spiritual self. I want to live from my spiritual self. Beautiful. And the discontent for you is that it's always been behind. You've been behind it, right? It's there, but you haven't really stepped in and own it and become the woman who's on her spiritual path. And perhaps you've been serving others from that place. Beautiful. I want financial freedom. Yeah, I want what I'm doing to sustain me. Right on. So why are we looking at these things? You know, we often spend our days just going, oh, I don't have time for that, right? Well, I can't look at that. I can't deal with that. I got to get the groceries and I got to make the meals and I got to walk the dog. And this is your soul that's calling out to you. That's what these are. Think about this. This is life itself saying, grow. There's more for you. Grow. So these are really invaluable. Write them down. Because in a moment, we're going to go on this beautiful shamanic kind of trance, visionary experience. I love this Haida mask from the Pacific Northwest. You see this shaman, on the mask in trance flight, going into the other realm where there are answers, where there is healing to be found. Similarly, with this beautiful doorway, the shaman's visionary doorway, this is traditional Navajo tribal land. Shamans have used this doorway to leave this world and go into other worlds and find that healing and bring it back. So take a breath with me now. Just get comfortable. Take a sip of water, perhaps. Take a breath. We've got a longing, we've got a discontent, we've got this area of our life that, things could be working better. We know there's so much more for us, right? We're listening to those feelings of, quiet desperation even, right? Listening to that inner voice. What is the desire that's stirring your soul? Is another way to really think about this. It's stirring your soul. You can live your life by default, which is what most of the population does. I don't know, do you know that you're 3% of the population? All of us here? People who are very interested in personal growth and personal transformation. We're 3% of the population. It's hard to do math in this kind of situation. 97% of the population, they're just like tumbleweeds. They just tumble around one circumstance to the other. But that's not you. You're here because you are seeking something greater, and you know you got to get involved, right? To find what that is, get your hands on it, move into it, manifest it. So, don't worry about how this is going to happen. Let's take that how and put it over here. We can get to the how, but right now it's just, what would you love? That's really the most important question I have for you in this entire webinar. What would you love for your one wild and precious life? What would you really, really love at this point in your journey? What would you love? Your soul is signaling you. Somebody's saying, I am awakening to my being. Yes! Congratulations for waking up. Absolutely. This is the time to do that. Right? We don't want to keep just like settling. You know, where we tell ourselves, oh, it's okay. I'm okay. I can get through this. Right? How long have you been making it okay? You don't have to do that anymore. This is a shaman's blanket. It's Navajo. It's old. Cures, healings have been, have taken place on this blanket. And I'm just about to send it to you. In Germany, in Oregon, in California. Yeah, I want to receive. I give a lot. I want to receive. It's time for me to receive. Beautifully said. So this shaman's blanket, this shaman's visioning experience, this, my signature work here, I want you to know something before we get into this. This works. Even if you feel like you've been kind of depressed or anxious or stuck, or that feeling of my dreams don't really work out for me so well, or, I don't know, I've been kind of defeated here in my life, and this works. So whatever you've been feeling, we're just going to put it to the side here. Just move it off, let it go, and just take a breath with me. Keep asking yourself, what would I love for this one area of my life? What would I really love? You know, that one thing, if you didn't do it by the end of your days, you would be filled with regret. For my father, when he was alive, he really wanted to get to Europe. Because, his mother came from Europe, his father came from Europe. He didn't know Europe, so I brought him to Europe. We had 2 weeks. It was so amazing. You got to live that dream, right? So, what is it for you? This one area of your life, what is it? You want to create your life by design now. And this blanket is going to carry you ahead. I'm going to rattle for you. This blanket will carry you ahead when you get on it. Hey, and if you're driving, please do pull over into a rest stop. Don't try to do this if you're driving. Get in a rest stop. You can do this together in your car seat just fine. Direct the blanket to where you would love to be living. Get off the blanket and literally step right into your future self. You can do this. You've got this in your ancestral blood. You know how to imagine. You know how to step into the future. This blanket time travels, okay? It's time traveled with thousands of people. Now it's your time. It's your turn. Maybe you want to go to Italy. Maybe you want to go to culinary school. Maybe you want to break through writer's block. So you see yourself writing magnificently, furiously, epic writing. Maybe you want to be having more financial abundance in your life. And so you see that coming to you. You experience it. You're not just making this stuff up, right? We're actually stepping into the real future. It exists, right? Quantum physics tells us that. Oh, there's all these parallel universes. You're going to step into one right now. Are you ready? Are you ready? Hands up, heart open. Let's do this. All right, so in your imagination, go ahead and close your eyes now, if you would, please, if you're comfortable with that. Make sure your cell phone is far away from you so it doesn't buzz. You don't want to be disturbed during this. This is sacred moment time for you. You're designing a life you would love right here, right now. You're on the blanket. You feel how soft it is. Oh, yeah. Directed ahead 3 years in your life to a place, a time where you would love to be living, and see yourself. Like it's like stepping into your future self. Zip yourself up in that suit. Feel it, smell it, taste it, hear it, touch it, do it. You're living this life of your dreams. We'll have a couple minutes of doing this now. Go ahead and just relax into it. You've got this. All right, here we go. Time traveling blanket. Keep going. Really see yourself in your future life, living a life you love. Let yourself dream big now. No editing, no shortcuts. Really step into it. Be it, see it, have it, experience it, enjoy it. Really lean into it now. Really bring it to life. Experience it in every cell and atom of your being. You've got this. This is what's possible. This is the more. Don't worry about how. Just enjoy the what. Very good. And now take a moment and just memorize this feeling. Oh, how good this feels. To be living what you're meant to be living. Doing what you're meant to be doing, what you love for your one precious life. Memorize it now. Get it into your arms and your heart and your lungs and your belly and your soul, your brain. This is it. This is the truth of who you are. Very good. All right, please find the shaman's blanket again. Get back on it. Turn it around. And come back here. Come back here to the present when you began the journey. Bring it back into the room where you started. Oh, good work. And just take a few moments and jot down some of the salient details of this life you just created for yourself. Take a moment, write it down, keep that memory happening in your body. And if you've just got a whole lot of content, great. Write the keywords down, just like with a dream, right? Write the keywords down in the margin. So when we complete here today, you can just go back and write. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Oh, such good work you've just done here today. So, you've got a vision now. Look at this. You've got this vision. You are a luminous light being, and you've got this light in your hands now. You've got a vision. This is a new lighthouse for you, a kind of guiding light for your life. This is where you're headed. You've just designed a life. You love living. Wasn't it awesome to be living that life? Yes. So this brings us, ancient wisdom key number 2. This feeling of spirit surrounds me, somebody's saying. Oh, yeah. So answering your call, right? We've just worked with really listening. You listened so beautifully. Now what do we do with that, right? There's a kind of gap between I'm here and my future life is here and I want to get here. I want to, how do I get from here? How do I answer that call and really move forward with it? You think about it, lots of things you can do with your calls, with your dreams. Again, I'm thinking of some of my college students, writing students in Rogue Community College, and I would get them in touch with their dreams, but they didn't go far enough. They needed to be here with me, right? Some of them came. What can you do? Your dreams are calling to you. Well, you can accept the call. And many of you are in that moment right now where you've got that phone of spirit in your hands and you're just about to put it up to your head, right up to your ears and say, hey, I want to answer this call. I have put this call off too long. Maybe it's been on hold. Maybe it's been on call forwarding. I don't know, maybe even hung up on it at one point in your life or several points in your life. We often do that. I don't have time for this, right? I don't know how. The danger of the how. Take the how, put it over here. Let's stay with the what you would really love, okay? Your dreams are calling to you. And so, we put it aside. We hold it here. We go, I don't have time. I don't know. I don't have the knowledge. Am I worthy of this call? I had that one myself as a very young shamanic student. Am I worthy of this? But when you say yes, doors open. Those doors were waiting to open. They're opening for you right now. Opportunities show up that were hanging out there the whole time, but you've got to say yes. You've got to say, I'm answering this call. And when you do, when you take that step, what is that saying? When you take one step, providence then takes 10 steps and leads you. So you want to take that step right now. And I want to introduce you to an amazing client of mine. One of the secrets here is you start before you're ready. If you wait until you're ready, That perfectionism is going to come in. And it's going to tell you, oh, you don't have all your ducks in a row. Oh, you don't have a PhD in that. Oh, who do you think you are? You're not, I don't know, you're not J.K. Rowling, you're for a writer. You're not Oprah Winfrey if you want to be in the entertainment world. You're not Hemingway. You just start before you're ready. That is one of the universal laws. Start before you're ready. And you're doing that with me right now. Okay? You just stepped off the shaman's blanket. All right, so let me introduce you to one of my wonderful clients, Tina. She lives down in LA. And she was at a presentation with me, just like this. And I was actually talking with Tina just yesterday. And I said, remember those tools that I taught you about keeping the dream, keeping the vision alive and fresh? She goes, yeah, I'm using those. So I want to share that content with you right now because it made all the difference for her. So here is secret number 2. How do you answer the call? You get a journal or a pad of paper, and you dedicate it to this vision that you just came out of the shaman's blanket with. You write it down every morning in as much detail as you can. You step back into that place where you just were, right? You step into it, you see what you're wearing, you see who you're with, you see the time of day, you're doing what you're doing, You are that force of nature there. You are doing it, right? You are making this happen. You're answering your calling in as much detail as possible. Morning is what I recommend. When we're fresh and we're still kind of close to that dream time space. Things are just so creative and so alive. Write it in the present tense. That's also very important. As if it's happening right now, because it is. You are creating it. You're in that state of, I'm the God, I'm the goddess. You're creating it. You're making it happen. All right? And if it's your health, you write, I'm jumping out of bed in the morning and I'm putting on my running shoes and I'm going out the door and I'm patting the dog and saying, I'll be back. I'm telling the kids, I'll be back. And I'm just running. I'm running the trail. I'm getting ready. I'm preparing for the half marathon. You write in as much detail as you can. You smell the dirt. You see the green canopy of the leaves. You write it all down. If it's the author that you are moving into being, then you see yourself meeting with Oprah, if that's what you want, and your book at the top of her bookshelf list. You write all this down, and then you do it every day, and then at night, you take the paper to bed with you, and you lie in bed and you read what you wrote in the morning. Stay in it. Stay with it. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. You're not going to figure out the how. That's really up to the universe, the how. Your job is the what you would really love. Become the woman who is living that life. So at the end of my presentation, Tina signed up for one of my breakthrough calls. And I know some of you have already signed up in the chat. Thank you for doing that. And then at the end of our call together, she signed up for a 6-month Shaman's Mastery program with me. And I want to show you Tina now today. Here she is. Whew. This was a few months ago. She got this amazing RV Thor Outlaw bus. And her vision was to get this bus and take her personal training, what she calls movement medicine, take it on the road. She works a lot with seniors, and her mission is to get seniors moving, get them up out of their chairs, get them moving and stretching and the blood flowing and the power going. And here she is, the day that it was delivered. And oh my gosh, I mean, when I met Tina, she had lost 3/4 of her clientele because COVID happened. And people just said, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want you. No, I'm not going there. No. She's got all that clientele back. She's doubled, tripled her clientele. She's having the time of her life. So why am I telling you this story? I mean, it's like, well, what about you? What about you? What is the story we're going to be telling about you, let's say in a year, 2 years? When you say yes to your vision, you've heard it, you've listened to it, you've answered it, and you really step into it, and you go for the more, right? You move out of just doing what you've been doing, you're plugged into more power, and you start to do what you're uniquely put on this earth to do. What is that story we're going to be telling about you? I can't wait to tell that story. When you say yes to your vision, when you've got this gift, right? And you unwrap the gift. Many of you have a gift, but it's still in the box with the wrapping paper and the ribbon around it. You want to unwrap that gift, take the lid off, and begin to, before you're really ready, before you feel ready, you start sharing that with the world, right? Yeah. So, what about you? Yeah. So this brings us to the third ancient wisdom key. It looks like we're running a little bit somewhere in time. We're going to be going for some minutes more. I hope you can stay on with me. Looks like maybe 10 more minutes. But my wonderful assistant from Canada is here, and she's just dropped into the chat box the link for a breakthrough session. If you didn't get that in the beginning because we weren't able to give it to you, it's here now if you want it. So secret number 3 is about engaging a guide. This is the way it works in so many of the world's spiritual traditions. And this is the tradition that I have been trained in for 40 years. Here we see these 2 wonderful women. The one standing is the Mongolian shaman, and she's got all of her tinctures and all of her herbs. I just love this picture. There they are in the traditional yurt, right, up in Mongolia, on the steppes. She's got her drum in the background and her shaman's robe on, and she's showing the younger woman, the apprentice, this is what you do with the herbs. First you have to do this, then you do this, and then you can put it in the tincture. So what happens in the tradition that I am part of, this wonderful shamanic tradition, is that the elder shaman, here we see Michael Harner, who I had the great privilege of working with for over 20 years. The elder shaman trains the initiate, the apprentice, shows them the ceremonies. I got so many ceremonies from him, maps to the hidden universe, keys of manifestation, shamanic practices, visionary tools. He invited me to be a faculty member in the Foundation for Shamanic Studies. Michael is the one who really studied with shamans all over the world and brought the teachings together into one place, the Foundation for Shamanic Studies, where I have been a faculty member with him for over 20 years. You see him with his big, beautiful Sami drum. And I also had the great fortune and privilege of working with this shaman. She's half Yaqui Indian, also teaching in the Foundation. And Alicia Gates is her name. She and Michael are both on the other side now. So grateful for all the years I had with both of them. She just stretched me into places I didn't even know I could go, as a shamanic healer and a shamanic teacher and a vision quest guide and a writer. So the question here is, well, how do you know when you're ready for a guide? When this is the time for you. Maybe you've been searching for a while. Maybe you've taken workshops here and workshops there and a summit here and a summit there. And, that was all good. Maybe you've got a vision board going, but it's like incremental movement, right? What you really want is the illumination. You want to, get out of any kind of drift, those lines on the side of the road and you're tired and you're driving at night and, you start to drift. We can do that in our lives, just kind of be drifting and stuck in paradigms of distraction. We get the newest, latest, greatest shamanism book and, we start to devour it, but then we put it aside. And it stays there for 3 weeks or a month or however long, you know. So wanting to make this sustained effort, right? Really move ahead and stay connected to intention. Stay connected to this shaman's net of power that's here and available to you. So there are things you want to watch out for if you're being called to have support, to, you know, have guidance in your life. There are things that can cause you to get derailed from that path. One of them is distraction. The other one I think that we really want to name here we should have red danger signs on it is delay, the paradigm of delay. It's a very sneaky kind of belief because we believe it. We tell ourselves, oh, I'll do this when I retire, when the mortgage is paid, when the kids are back in school, when I get this other thing done, when I get the house cleaned and the drapes ironed. And, you know, delay, it's super sneaky paradigm of all of them. It's caused, I think, the death of more dreams and more visions than probably all the paradigms put together. So be aware of that delay. It can just prevent you from moving ahead in your life, going where you want to go. And, you know, many forms of delay. I don't have the money, I don't have the time, you know, to have a guide, to you know, be on my spiritual path. Of course, we know those aren't true. You think in your own life, in your parents' life. My parents, of course, you know, we were on a budget, middle-class people. But when something was really important, when something is really valuable for us, we make the time, right? We just push things back. We find the money. So we also can feel like, well, I don't know if I'm worthy to have a guide. I feel like I'm kind of stumbling along here. I don't really know what I'm doing. That's when it's helpful, actually, to have a guide. And if you've got the calling to really expand your life, grow your life, and go for the more, just know that that means you're worthy. Automatically, that makes you worthy. So you can set aside that belief, oh, I might not be worthy, or, oh, I'm kind of too old. It's really too late for me. I knew I should have done this 20 years ago. Darn it, why didn't I do it? So, okay, that was then. This is now. And now we've got a fresh start, right? Now you've got a vision. You've got this light in your hands. And this is where you are right now. And let go of all that shoulda, coulda, woulda. And wow, yeah, it's not too late. It's not too old. I work with 80-year-olds, and they're going for it. These women in Mount Shasta in Seattle, they're going for it, right? And in Portland, and in Ashland, and in Las Vegas, they're going for it. So, for all of you who are watching this right now, whether it's me you would choose as a guide or someone else, and I know some of you are so eager to have a guide, a mentor at this point in your life, because, you know, we've texted, we've emailed, some of us, we've had some phone calls. I would love to serve as your guide, and I have that available right now. So this is the gift that I have been promising to you in all those sweet emails that you probably got in your inbox, right? I have set aside time in my calendar to have a talk with you, have a chat with you. And the link is there in your chat box if you want to see it there, if you want to click on it. You know, let's get together. I would prefer Zoom so you can see me and I can see you. And let's have a chat. Let's talk about where are you in your search for life direction? Have you been drifting? What is it that you really want? And what's your sense of maybe what's been stopping you, what's been holding you back, right? Maybe you can't kind of stick with your intention. You know there's something more, and maybe you can't even quite put your fingers on it, but you know. You're tired of this stop and start thing, right? So this is your time. Doesn't matter what's happened in the past. That's over. That doesn't even exist. This is now. Let's talk. Let's have a chat. Let me help you. I'll pour my expertise and my love in on your vision, and you can tell me what you think is keeping you stuck. And I've got some wonderful medicine healing tools, to get you unstuck. Let's get you going here. So this is your next step. Let's have a chat. Let me help you make an empowered move. I would love to help you make an empowered move. Would you love an empowered move? Let's do that. And if this is of interest to you, just notice inside you might be feeling, well, yeah, I really want to talk with her, but I'm not really clear, or, it's just going to be a waste of time because I don't have it all figured out, right? We often feel like we've got to have it all figured out. That's part of the perfectionism paradigm. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just, get yourself into the calendar and then come right back into the webinar. We still have a ways to go here. All right, there's the link. Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you for getting yourself here. I'm so grateful you're here. So, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. And also, let me remind you, you have an inner knower. And that inner knower, it will never lead you astray. It's here. Just tune into this. Listen. That voice for truth is what Gandhi called it. Yeah, I want to talk with Beth. Just click the link. Get signed up. There's lots of great times next week. If the times don't work for you, don't worry about it. Just send me an email. Let's put my email in there. And thank you for your thank yous. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Marge. Can we drop my email? Oh, it's here on the screen, but if we want to put it in a chat, if somebody wants to cut and paste it. I know a couple of you are in Europe. Mostly I've got morning times that may be good for you or not good for you. Just send me an email. Hey, I don't like those times. I'll figure something out that's perfect for you. All right. So I began with telling you my Vision Quest breakthrough story of how completely stuck I was teaching 9 courses at 3 colleges and how burned out I was, as I was in my Vision Quest without my wonderful teacher, Evelyn Eaton. And now, instead of being stuck and overwhelmed in my work, oh my God, I love my work. And I have created 5 award-winning shamanic coaching courses now. And you're getting a taste of one of them here, the Vision Quest. And instead of being $50,000 in debt, I'm now doing my work in the world at a much higher level of prosperity, a much higher level of creativity. I'm stable financially. Instead of struggling, I'm now stable. And recently I just became an international best-selling author, which was an enormous dream of mine. I had no idea how that was going to happen. I just kept to the vision. And I kept saying to myself, I'm an international best-selling author. And here we are. My new book, Short, Sweet, and Sacred, done with Erin Bloom Davenport, wonderful editor and writer herself. People say to me, Beth, you've got this amazing life. How have you created this life? And I always say, I took action. That's really what makes all the difference. We can have the best visions in the world and be entertained by them and feel good inside of them. But, vision without action, it is just entertainment, right? No wind is favorable to a sailor who has no destination in mind. So you've got a destination now. Let's do this. Because, it's 2023. We're the first quarter. It's only the first quarter into 2023. Only the first quarter. We got a ways to go here yet, right? What happens to you in 2023, it's not up to luck. It's not up to the stars. It's not up to the pandemic. It's certainly not up to the politicians, right? What happens in 2023 is up to you. This can be your best year ever. This right now can be the year in which you thrive. And why not go for that? Why not go for that like I am going for that? Join me in this. Now, I've been giving you some opportunities here, right? You've got the breakthrough session opportunity with me. I'm going to give you another opportunity here, and I'm going to ask you, can you open up a corner of your mind to this? Don't worry about or think about, well, how is that going to happen? Just open up yourself to the possibility of what you would love. I'm currently enrolling new people in the new Vision Quest. It's online and it's in nature. This is all about awakening, continuing to awaken your soul to its power and to your higher purpose. Meets on Mondays, begins in May. Just keep a corner of your mind open. Would you love to be part of an amazing tribe of visionary seekers like here? People who are really engaged, really wanting to expand life, step into the more. Would you love to be able to just tap in at a moment's notice this shaman's net of power and work with and draw power from the stars and work with and draw power from the sun and fill your life with it and do your business meetings with it and grow your income with it and heal yourself with it and with the power of the moon and step into the solar boat that the ancient Egyptians knew about. If this calls to you, then the Vision Quest could be your next big step. Let's get on the phone, get on a Zoom, let's talk about it. And here we've got another beautiful Sami drum with a reindeer beater. Would you love to learn how to do healing work? Would you love to learn how to ask a question from hidden sources and get answers from hidden sources? That in itself is healing, right? When we struggle with a question, we don't know how to get the answer. Well, in shamanic work, would you love to learn to work with your power animal helper? Would you love that? So just keep a corner of your mind open and let's just have a chat about the possibility for you. You spend lots of money on other people if you're like most people. And I think now is the time to really invest in yourself. Put your feathered staff in the ground and say yes, yes, yes to yourself. You probably spend a lot of time and energy giving to other people, helping them be happy. Why not spend some money on getting your life headed in a direction that really speaks to you for 2023? That's my invitation. So let's go ahead and, Laura, if you would please, drop that link in one more time. Oh, somebody's saying, yeah, great book, Beth, you go. Thank you. And Thomas, thank you for saying thank you. So if you'd like to talk about this or anything about your life that's going on, maybe you're the kind of person who's got so much enthusiasm and so much passion. You've got one foot on the accelerator of your life, but then you go foot on the brake. You know what that's like? Oh, so frustrating. So anxiety producing, right? So let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Laura, I don't know if you're still here. Let me go back here. Well, you can just scroll back. I hope you're still here. To that link, to the breakthrough session. Just go for it. I have one more gift. I'm so excited. So you saw Short, Sweet, and Sacred. Here's my newest gift. For you today to say thank you for being here. Now, this is an ebook. You know what an ebook is? It's electronic in nature. It's so beautiful. I wish I could just show it all to you right now. This is a cover of it. This is about bringing more abundance into your life. Some of you have chatted in about this. I want to be financially free. I want to be making money at, doing what I love. So there's the money aspect, but there's also, we want to have a full spectrum kind of wealth in our life, right? We want to be wealthy in relationships. We want to be wealthy in health. We want to be wealthy in vocation. This little book is 30 pages. It's all in color. It's full of these tremendous affirmations. It's like the state of the art in affirmations. And it helps you rewire the subconscious mind, the brain that has the limiting thoughts, that pushes things away, that keeps things away, and attract the kind of prosperity that you really want in your life. It is what I have seen with the people who are working with the book. It releases scarcity, but also it unlocks these new levels of abundance that you've never even experienced before. You didn't even know they were there. So this book is not for sale. It's not anywhere on the internet. It's just right here, right now for you. So Laura, thank you so much for being here, and go ahead and click on that link. It says giftfrombeth.com, Attract Abundance. And it's going to take you to a page where you can download the book. If you want to just, cut and paste that link right now, that's great. Just save it for later and go and get the book. It is so empowering. And seriously, 5 minutes a day. I know, is that possible? Yes, you can actually rewire your subconscious mind working with this book on this particular theme. And part of what we do in the Vision Quest is rewire the brain. We've got this neuroplasticity to our brain. We can change the way we think. We can change what we attract into our lives. We can let go of clutter, both inner and outer. We can create this movement, momentum forward, and really begin to live from that place, that vision-driven place. We would love to be living that life. This is why you're here. This is what you're meant for. And now is your time. So I would love to close with this very, very powerful quote from Goethe, great German writer. He says, whatever you can do or dream, you can. Begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. So go ahead and click these links. Let's keep you going here. You've got a great beginning here today. Let's keep you moving forward. Thank you so much for all of your chats. I'm sorry I wasn't able to read all of them, but thank you for putting it out there, putting yourself out there, being fully engaged in this process. And I'm going to look forward to having time with you, one-on-one, you and me, on Zoom or on the phone. And let's take a look at this vision that you've designed. Let's just, pour some love and expertise in on it and kind of unpack it. And let's look at this gift that you've got. Maybe you're ready to pull the ribbon off. Maybe you're ready to pull the paper off, and just consider it and think about, wow, this is my gift. What am I going to do with this gift? And what's been stopping me? What's been holding me back from living the greatest gift that I've been given in this lifetime? Because we need you and we need your gifts. So thank you so much. I have had an incredible time with you. Thank you for all your love and your energy and your thank yous. And oh my gosh, let's get together. That link is still there. Go ahead. It's not too late. Just go ahead and click it. Let's get you in your breakthrough session. Let's get you your financial abundance book. And let's keep you going here. And thank you to my wonderful assistant, Laura, who facilitated all of this for each one of us. My love, my blessings. Let's close this out so you can see me. Thank you. Wow, you've got this. We're doing this, right? You're making the decision for this right here, right now. And when you do, the door is open. The doors are open right now. Will you go through? Come on. You can do this. I'm waiting for you. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.